Welcome to Anchor Your Roots 1. This is the first of our 40-20 circuit style workouts in the Onnit 6 Steel Club series. We're going to be working through 5 different exercises in a 40-second work interval followed by a 20-second rest interval. We're going to be going through all 5 exercises to complete 1 round and repeat that for 4 total rounds. Before we get started with the work, it's really important you understand who you're going to be working with. So let me introduce this gentleman to my left, Larry Maloney. He's recently joined the Onnit Gym staff as our operations manager and has made a huge impact on our day-to-day culture and vibe. Everybody who comes through the gym feels Larry's contribution not only through his efforts, but through that of his staff. And not only does he contribute in the front of house, he's been adding value to our training staff by subbing and actually kicking a lot of butt in our barbell conditioning class as of late. At level 2 in the back, I know the camera is drawn to this gentleman. Nobody needs really any introduction to him if you've been following Onnit for any extended period of time, but if you have yet to really know who he is, this is Leo Savage. Best known for what he does with the steel mace, but here he's known for his heartfelt contribution to the whole Onnit community in every way possible. If you've yet to start swinging a steel mace after you complete this 6-week Onnit 6 Steel Club series, it's time to start, and you're going to see a lot more of Leo when you do. Miss Carolyn over here, again, a relatively new addition to our Onnit Gym staff, has made a huge impact. She brings a ton of movement culture experience in her gymnastics, dance, and diving background, and that's why we really invited her to perform at this level 3 Steel Club experience because of all of that technical background in movement. She's been able to really hold form, and you know what, we wanted to challenge her with something this weekend, and I know she's going to perform at a level that I probably would have a hard time keeping up with. So that's our squad here. Before we get started with the workout, we always give just a little bit more time to prime our body and our nervous system for the specific movements we're going to be doing. So we're going to do this with 3 different exercises performed just for about 5 reps or so, all right? If we're doing static holds, we'll do 3. If we do reps, we'll do 5. We're gonna start with a reverse W. We ended with the W in our mobility series. We're gonna do the opposite movement here. So feet are hip width, pelvis is tucked under, ribs are down. We're gonna draw our hands back and down in that nice capital A or arrow situation here. Pinch our elbows in, draw our knuckles back, thumbs back to the back wall, pinch our elbows into our ribs, and come up and over. Feel that mid-back engage. Same thing here. Pinch the elbows in, thumbs back towards the back wall, reach up and over for 2. Really feel that mid-back engage. Reach back further for 3. Here we go. 4. And the 5th rep, really pinching those shoulder blades together, keeping that chest proud. From there, we're gonna go ahead and open up our feet into a squat width stance. Not super wide, just a standard squat stance. From here, heels dig in nice and firmly. Toes point out past 45 degrees. We're gonna shift our weight towards our pinky side of our feet. Take note, shift your weight to the big toe, the knees drift in. Shift your weight to your pinky toe, the knees drift out. We're gonna keep those knees out and back. Draw our pelvis forward. So think about your hips pulling forward between your big toes. Really as far forward as you feel you can. Head over shoulders over hips. We're gonna go ahead and sink down till we feel a nice amount of tension in those adductors, in those hips. Think about the outside of our knees, drive the knees back, shoulders back, chest up, hold, and exhale, sink, shimmy to the sides. Hold that middle, drive those knees back, shift your weight to your pinky toes, hold, build tension in those hips, exhale, sink, shimmy. That's 2. 3rd time's the charm here. Find center, drive those knees back, shift your weight to your pinky toes, hips forward, chest up and out, hold, 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 keep working, build that tension. If you're not shaking, you're not doing it right, exhale, sink, shimmy side to side. And we're gonna keep staying nice and tall in the middle, drive all the way up. From there, we're gonna make sure we engage the front line of our body, avoid arching our back as we swing the clubs into positions behind us. So we're gonna get down to the ground. We're gonna reinforce a short lever plank. This short lever plank is going to have us belly down, take our hands above our heads, pull our elbows back as far as we can, thumbs up, 7 up. Now your chin should actually be forward of your fists. From here, pinch your knees together and bend your knees. Press your forearms down into the ground Tuck your hips under. Think about pulling your knees up towards your elbows. So tucking that pelvis under. Chest is proud. Pull your belly button up and in. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Hold and release down. We're going to engage that 3 times total. Press your forearms down. Keep your eyes in front of your fists. Tuck your hips under. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Build that tension. Draw your belly button up to your spine and release tension down. 3rd time's the charm. Press your forearms down. Tuck your hips under. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Eyes in front of knuckles. Belly button up to your spine. Hold and release down. So we took the time to add a little extra tension in our body, making sure we know where our center is as we move the club from position to position. Now it's time to get to work. This is going to be our first round in this 4-round series. I'm going to be spending time at level one with Larry. We're going to start with our steel club clean. So team, go ahead and get your club in position, ready to start with exercise number 1. We're going to start round number 1 in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and work. Now look at what Larry has here. He has this very technical variation of a clean. A clean is defined by getting the implement from the ground up into an upper position in one clean movement. Notice, even though one clean movement is here, we're doing it in sequences right now. A row clean is what we have here. Switch grip, switch sides. So halfway through the round, we're switching sides. Notice he's pulling the elbow back essentially in a row. Keep that club closer to your toes there, Larry. And then pulling the elbow back, he's splitting his grip, driving his hips forward to get upright and bring his hands together to re-engage this ready position, which is the basis of all of our club swinging. Time. All right, clubs down to the side. We're going to clear our space for our body weight exercise, which is going to be a variation of a mountain climber. So we want to make sure the clubs are out of the way. We got time to shake out any tension in our body. Here we go, ready in 5. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and go. So Larry's doing this rocking mountain climber, rocking his hips back to his heels, stepping his foot up right outside of his hands, and then driving his chest up and out, hips forward. So thinking about extending the front line of his body. As he's doing that, he's thinking about chest bumping the front of the room. This is going to be really restricted for a lot of us. A lot of us are very restricted on the front half of our body, front side of our body. We're past the halfway mark, team. Keep it going. It's nice and steady. 1 rep, 1 breath is the minimum. No holding your breath on any reps. So make sure you breathe every time. It's oscillatory. 1 breath, 1 movement. If you want to breathe twice, that's okay. Last 3 reps, last 3 seconds, and time. All right, that's your mountain climber. Nice and easy. That rocking mountain climber is a great place to start. Now we have our club exercise. It's going to be the pullover. So get your club in position to be ready for pullovers. You're going to get that club right in between your feet. Here we go in 5. Clean it up. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, Larry, let's go ahead and switch your top hands. Good. So whenever we're learning to do our exercise, we want our dominant hand to be our top hand. The dominant hand is the side the club is on. So right hand, right side. Right? Just like swinging a baseball bat. Take note, Larry's taking that club head right next to his ear, placing it behind his shoulder blade, pulling it forward. Switch sides. So now switching the grip, switch his sides. See, now his left hand is on the top. That's that dominant hand, the top hand. Taking the club next to his ear, back towards his shoulder blades, opening the window of a visor with his opposite forearm to make sure that his head can clear through that space. Inhale back, exhale forward. Time. Great job, Larry. That's our pullover, club down and off to the side for our second body weight exercise. This is going to be our rotary lunge. So we want to have a clear space. There's going to be a lot more movement here. Ready? In 5. All right, team. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great. Larry's going to be doing this rotary lunge. It's actually a 3-step process. He steps back, opens the hip, drops the hip, and then comes up. Actually, that's a 4-step process. Down, out, down, up. Now, remember we said 1 breath, 1 movement. In this case, how many movements are there? If there's 4 steps, a lot of times it might be better to have 4 breaths. So exhale, 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 exhale. Hey, where do you inhale? Trust me, your body finds room to inhale. Keep it going, nice and steady. You're alternating legs every time. So you don't have to worry about the halfway mark. You just keep working until I say you're done, all right? And that's not for another 5 seconds, so keep it steady, keep it grooving, keep it moving. 3, 2, 1, time. Good work. That's our second body weight exercise. We're gonna finish off with another club drill, okay? This last club drill is gonna be working that lower body really well. We call this the leg driver. So club in between our feet. Here we go in 5. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. So Larry's gonna be working what we call the leg driver with a static position at the end. Notice the club tips down and forward. As it comes down and forward, his hips drop down, his chest is upright. As he reaches back, he's not gonna try to reach super far back, but he wants the club head behind his heels. As he does that, I need him to make sure he focuses on his chest proud and making sure he's not rounding or flexing at any point in time. Halfway there, switch grips, switch grips. Good, keep it going, nice and steady. So Larry, go ahead and overcommit that back position just to show everybody what it looks like. Reach too far back, that rounds his shoulders over. Hold the back position, good. Hold that back position again, hold it, stop. Good, so notice his back is rounded. We don't want that. Time, good work, come on out. Now he's always gonna be focusing on just executing within the range he has. All right, that's 1 round down, team. Here we go, second round, we're gonna start back at the clean, So I'm gonna hang out with Leo, level 2 over here. That's the man. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and work. So we're gonna be doing our clean. So let's go back down to our clean, down to the ground. There we go. And up. Good, Leo. I want the club head to stop on the ground every time. So touch the ground, stop, and then come on up. Good job. All the way down and up. Beautiful. Chest stays up and out, hips down and back. Switch sides, switch grips. Beautiful work. Nice. Touch the ground and up. So stop at that back position. Stop and go. Beautiful. At level 2, as we jump from level 1 to level 2, really want us to reinforce that static position. Control is demonstrated in those static positions. Time. Good work, everybody. That's our clean. Next up is our mountain climber. So level 2 of our drills are just 1 step ahead of what level 1 was doing. Incremental progression is very important. All right, team, ready for our mountain climbers? In 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and work. So Leo's still doing this rocking mountain climbers. Knees are down in the back position, hips go back to his heels, foot comes up to his hand, and he comes up into that front mountain climber, chest out, hips forward. But what he's gonna do is he's gonna extend that back leg. Extending that back leg builds tension all across the front of the hip and the back of that leg. Keep it going nice and steady. Alternating sides, you're past the halfway mark. You hear him breathing every rep multiple times, making sure to exhale. Focus more on the exhale than the inhale. We're not bracing and holding, we're moving, we're grooving. We want to breathe as much as possible. Never holding our breath, never building too much tension. Time. We want to move efficiently and effectively, which means we want just enough tension to hold our body in place. Our next drill is going to be the pullover. Pullover is our next drill. So go ahead and get the club back in between your feet. All right, team, here we go. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now, Leo loves the pullover. We're gonna do the continuous block pullover. So notice, he goes from his dominant side, over that shoulder, switches to the opposite shoulder, and pulls to the opposite side, coming back across. So this is a continuous block, kind of making a box, all 4 corners, on this continuous block. Switch grips, switch directions. Here we go. All right, beautiful. So now he switched his dominant grip. So left hand is dominant now. So he's gonna go back over the left shoulder, switch to the right shoulder, pull on the right shoulder, and cross back over to continuously move that club in this block or box-like pattern. Time, good work. So that's our pullover, our steel club pullover series. Next is gonna be rotary lunges again. Notice the team always puts the clubs out of harm's way, and out of your harm's way. That's really the most important thing. Ready in 5, rotary lunge. 3, 2, 1, and time. So what Leo has here is this rotary lunge, is he's gonna go ahead and turn your eyes here, Leo, look to me, there you go. Just a nice little rotation, get the eyes to go with you. Beautiful. So knee, hip, shoulder, head, all in alignment as he rotates and pivots. He's holding that middle position nice and low. If you need to be a little bit higher, that's okay. Leo has excellent range in this particular position. So he's going down, pivoting down. We want to really get as much of a vertical stack here as possible. So we want to make sure that our head, shoulders, hips, and knees are all stacked in that end range. Go ahead and don't lean back so far, a little bit forward. Beautiful, good rep, good rep. Last rep, Time. That's 40 seconds of work there on the rotary lunge. Last one, the rotary lunge gets those legs nice and juicy. It's time for the leg drivers. So Leo's going to be a continuous leg driver, the rhythmic movement here. And we're not necessarily going to stop the club head at any point in time. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Beautiful. So notice the club actually floats. Imagine it having kind of luggage wheels. You have nice luggage, you roll through the airport, and it's just nice and smooth, gliding over the surface of the ground. This is exactly what I want this club head to do. It stays equidistant from the ground continuously. It never touches the ground, and it stays as close as possible. Switch grip, switch sides. Beautiful. Keep it nice and steady. Breathe. Down, 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 down in the front, down in the back. We're going to only move slightly up in the mid-range to keep that club equidistant from the ground the whole time at level 2. Almost there. Last rep and time. Beautiful work, Leo. Beautiful work. Hey, that's 5 exercises at level 2. Guess what? We're done over here. You're done with me. I don't know. I'm not done with you. I'm coming back. I'm going to come hang out with Carolyn over here at level 3. Let's see if she can put up with me for a good 5 minutes. Here we go. Ready in 5 for our cleans. 3, 2, 1, and work. All right, this beautiful rotational clean is something we need to build up on. It's doing pretty much what we've done at level 2, but notice the club head doesn't really touch the ground. It floats directly over the ground, kind of like what we did with the leg driver, and then she's rotating into a side ready position. Switch grip, switch sides. So now we're going to go ahead and highlight this top position. We highlighted the bottom in the first half of this round. This rotated torso. She noticed her torso rotates to the side, elbow pulls. It is exactly like the ready position we reinforced with the clean that we saw Larry do, and also the same variation of drill that we saw Leo do. Time. This ready position, proud chest, hands stacked, forearms horizontal is so important for all of our club movements. Next up is a mountain climber. Mountain climber in 10. Okay, shake it out. Everybody's ready to go. I can feel their energy build. I know you want to get ready. Here we go. 5, 3, 2, 1, and work. So Carolyn's going to be adding rotation. Level 3 is a lot about rotation here. I'm going to go ahead and step aside here so you guys get a really good view of how she holds this beautiful line. She's getting head to heel, one strong line, and then rotates right around that center line. Really controlling where all this movement's coming from. Notice in this level 3 drill, her knees are staying off the ground in the back position. At level 2, you might see Leo give us an example of floating his knees too, because we have a level 2 and a 2.5, which is just doing exactly what he's doing with the knees floating, but without the rotation. Last rep coming up. 3, 2, 1, time. Beautiful work on the mountain climber. Time to hit the pullover next up. Pullovers next up. Get the club, put it between your feet, get it in a good strong position. Want to make sure we're controlling where those clubs are. Make sure they're not going to fall on your feet. So that's why we have them laying down. Ready in 5. Pullovers. 3, 2, 1, and go. So Carolyn has her dominant hand is the side she starts on. And with her block pullover kind of alternates. It's really just 3 sides of it. So she's not going continuous in a circular manner, She's changing the direction, pulling over to one side, back on that same side, switch sides, pull. Okay, switch grip, switch sides. Halfway there. Now her left hand is the dominant hand, right? So when she goes back, she's going back on that left side, switching to the right shoulder, pulling on the right side, back to the right side, switching to the left side, pulling on the left side. So now she's giving her body that varied stimulus of pulling back and forward on each side. And time. Good job on the pullover. Last but not least, last body weight of the series, I should say, the rotary lunge. Now, what Carolyn's going to be doing is very similar to what Leo was doing in the rotary lunge. Get ready in 5, but just a little bit extra. 3, 2, 1, and go. So what's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? That little extra. That's it, team. So notice, what is it? It's a double dip, kind of like a good, like a ice cream cone. You don't want 1 dip, you want 2 dips. Twice the chocolate is better. Would you say, Carolyn? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we get a nod there. So she's pivoting to the side, 1 knee down, 2nd knee down, pivot back to the middle. Knee down, pivot back to center. Get a little bit lower in the center. I want to open those hips. There you go, Carolyn. Beautiful. Exhale on each down, down, pivot. Pivot. So we're using our breath always to increase the efficiency of our movement. Always, 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 and time. Good work, team. That's our last body weight for the series, but we're not done. We still have our last club exercise of this round. This is gonna be that leg driver, and we've been talking with Carolyn. Rotation is the big difference. This is a lateral leg driver, which adds rotation into the hips. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So notice, she's still painting this line across the floor. The club head stays relatively equidistant to the floor the whole time. She's reaching with the club head on those end points by dropping her hips. Her knees are tracking her toes, and this rotation of the torso, switch grips, this rotation of the torso and the rotation of the hips is really all very controlled. This is going to generate lots of short power in rotation. Short power. Short power means that she doesn't have to make big movements. She gets nice tight movements and still adds rotational power from the ground through her hips and out through whatever implement she's using. Time. Good work, Carolyn. All right, that's 3 rounds down. But we're not done. We have a 4th round to go. 4th round to go. We're going back to the top, back to the clean. Keep your clubs out. Keep your clubs out. Make sure they're in a good position for you to clean them up. Ready in 5, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. 4th round, I'm gonna make sure I pick on everybody a little equally, as much as possible. Now Larry's pulling with that elbow, splitting the grip, getting the club upright, driving those hips, getting nice and tall. Really good work. 10 seconds in, team. Good. Leo is now no longer touching the ground. He's got his 2.5 drill, floating the club off the ground and right up to the clean. Switch grip, switch sides. So that's again, Leo's talking about level 2 has a bigger range of potential between level 2 and level 3. We have to prepare because again, Carolyn no longer touches the club head to the ground in her lateral rotational clean. She's actually floating the club head off the ground. So now you see Leo doing the same thing. Last rep and time. Good work, good work. That was our clean. Up for our mountain climber next. Mountain climber, last round. Best execution of every rep. Make sure not to hold your breath. 1 rep, 1 breath, 1 rep at a time. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. His hips should feel a lot more open. A lot of times we're gonna feel a lot of tension in the adductor on that front leg, the hip flexor on the back leg. We're gonna extend that chest up and out. Good job, Larry. Foot right next to the hand, hip driving forward, chest driving up and out. Excellent work, excellent work. All right, Leo, awesome. Again, level 2.5, now he's warmed up halfway there. The knees not touching the ground in the back position, they're floating there. That's gonna really create a lot more tensional force through the body the whole time. That's level 2.5 if we wanna qualify it as that. And level 3 here, look, Carolyn, knees are off the ground, she steps forward, nice strong line, rotation, beautiful, add that rotation. Time, great execution, team, great execution. It's amazing after you get warm and loose how much better you move, how much better you execute these drills. They're all technicians, but what we have next is our pullover series. Clubs in hand, ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this window, as Larry puts the club over his shoulder, the club stays close to his shoulder, next to his ear. The visor of the opposite forearm goes over his head, making sure not to hit his forearm or close the gap on his eyes. You don't want to be able to see the whole time. You want to be able to see. Leo's doing this continuous block, crossing over halfway, switch sides, switch grips. Now left side goes over, switch to side, pulls forward. That continuous block moving in that box-like pattern all the way through. Carolyn's doing that more like a U, front, back, side, front, but not crossing over the front. This alternating block means she's changing directions more often. And time, good work, good work. All right, pullovers are done. Pullovers are done. 2 more drills before we finish this 4th and final round. Rotary lunge is next. Get those legs nice and juicy, release tension in rotation, build stability. Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good, Larry. I really wanted to breathe. Good. Look at those eyes forward. As Leo would say in some of his steel mace work, look straight, dominate. He's attacking this line forward. No matter if he's rotating that rear hip open, he's eyes forward the whole time, eyes on the prize. In this case, Leo's getting a little bit of vestibular input halfway there. He's changing his gaze. This is actually going to make you maybe a little dizzy at first. So be controlled, really stay low, use tension. It's this rotation. Tension through the legs is going to keep you feeling grounded, making sure you're not over rotating. Now Carolyn's doing the same thing, but remember, twice the dips are better, twice the chocolate tastes sweeter. Here you go, down and down, right back to center. Time. Good, rotary lunges are done. Rotary lunges are done, but your legs aren't done working. Maybe the hardest exercise is the one that looks the simplest, and that's sometimes the case, usually with this drill, leg drivers, okay? Ready in 5. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Last minute of work, best range of motion. Good, Larry, he's reaching back further. His hips are not overcommitting high. His chest is still up and out. Spine is still working towards extension. Now we talk about simplest drill being the hardest. Oftentimes, these static leg drivers sometimes are the hardest. But that you can argue with Mr. Leo over here because he's getting lots of reps. Switch grips, lots of reps. Look how many more reps. So light oscillations, rhythmic, down, 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 feeling those legs burn. And then we're adding rotation over here with Miss Carolyn, working down, down, but with that rotary tension in those hips. Feel those hips burn. Feel those hips burn. Breathe, breathe. Almost done. Last rep. Time. All right, team, go ahead and put your clubs off to the side. Take a moment to stand tall, stand strong. Chest proud, head stacked over shoulders. Big, deep breath in. Take a moment just to appreciate the work you put in. Exhale all that effort. A moment of stillness before we cool it down.